sir. Now we would like to invite Shri Prashant Dhotre sir, Director JRVGTI for the welcome address.
नमस्कार. आज JRVGTI तर्फे आपण दरवर्षी कॉन्व्होकेशनचा कार्यक्रम घेत असतो. तशा प्रकारचा कार्यक्रमाचं नियोजन केलं आहे. या कार्यक्रमाचे दोन उद्देश असतात. एक तर आपल्याकडनं पासआउट होणाऱ्या सगळ्या विद्यार्थ्यांचं सर्टिफिकेशन आणि नवीन येणाऱ्या आलेल्या म्हणजे स्वागत आणि त्यांना संस्थेची थोडी तोंड ओळख. आपण आपल्या कोर्सेसचं प्रॉस्पेक्टस सगळे घेत असतो ॲडमिशनच्या वेळेला. पण JRVGTI म्हणजे काय असा एक प्रश्न आपल्यासमोर कदाचित असेल, तर त्याच्या संबंधित थोडीशी मी माहिती देणार आहे. भविष्यातल्या काही योजना, काही नवीन कोर्सेसचं तोंड ओळख करून देणार आहे आणि आपल्यामध्ये कमीत कमी वेळ मी आणि महानदी सरांच्या मध्ये उभा राहणे याची दक्षता घेणार. एक तर JRVGTI ही आपल्याकडे व्होकेशनल गायडन्स अँड ट्रेनिंग इन्स्टिट्यूट जगन्नाथ राठीच्या नावाने ही आपण चालू केली 1987 साली. म्हणजे जवळजवळ आज 35 वर्ष पूर्ण होत आहेत संस्थेला. जेव्हा व्होकेशनल ट्रेनिंग किंवा व्यवसायाभिमुख शिक्षण असं काय म्हणजे ही संकल्पना सुद्धा शिक्षण क्षेत्रात कदाचित नव्हती की अशा पद्धतीचं शिक्षण घेता येतं, ज्याला सर्टिफिकेशन मिळतं आणि त्या सर्टिफिकेशन नंतर आपला स्वतंत्र व्यवसाय उभा करता येतो. तर अशा पद्धतीचं संकल्पना पण अन्य जिथे पुण्यात विद्येचं माहेरघर म्हणतात, पण फार कमी ठिकाणी असावी असं माझं किमान असेल. त्यावेळेला आपले जे संचालक मंडळी होती ती दृष्टी होती जी आजही परंपरा दृष्टीपणाची चालू आहे. पण तेव्हा 35 वर्षापूर्वी संकल्पना राबवली गेली. व्होकेशनल गायडन्स अँड ट्रेनिंग इन्स्टिट्यूट चालू झालं. नंतर जगन्नाथ राठींचं त्यांना डोनेशन आले म्हणून त्यांच्या नावावरती संस्था रजिस्टर्ड झाली. पण त्याच्यातले जे आपण फ्लॅगशिप कोर्स म्हणतो, इंटिरियर डेकोरेशन म्हणा किंवा फॅशन डिझाईन कोर्सेस म्हणा, हे आपण 30-30 वर्ष जुने कोर्सेस आहेत की याच्या पद्धतीचं अशा पद्धतीचं सिलेबस, अशा पद्धतीचं शिक्षण हे कुठेही पुण्यात अवेलेबल नव्हतं. तेव्हापासून हे कोर्स आपण चालवतो. नंतर त्याचा विस्तार वाढत गेला, अन्य कोर्स आपण त्याला जोडत गेलो आणि आज 35 वर्षात आपण अनेक कोर्सेस, अनेक विद्यार्थी आणि अनेक त्या फील्डमधले ॲल्युमनाय आपल्याकडे आहेत आणि ते त्यांच्या क्षेत्रात यशस्वी कार्य करत आहेत. दुसरं या संस्थेचं वैशिष्ट्य असं म्हणजे इथे येणारी जी फॅकल्टी आहे हे मला वाटतं 90% हे माजी विद्यार्थी आहेत. म्हणजे आपल्याकडनं शिकून जाऊन केवळ संस्थेसाठी आणि सेवाभाव म्हणून ते आपल्याकडे परत शिक्षणाच्या भूमिकेत येत आहे. याच्यात आपल्याला दोन फायदे असतात की जो आपण विद्यार्थी बाहेर जातो व्यवसाय करण्यासाठी, आपण काही प्रोटोटाईप शिक्षण इथं देत नाही की एक सिलेबस आपण 10 वर्ष चालवतोय. तर त्या व्यवसायात संबंधित व्यवसायात घडणारे जे बदल आहेत ते शिक्षक आपल्या विद्यार्थ्यांना दरवर्षी अपडेट करत राहतात. त्यामुळे विद्यार्थी जेव्हा इथे शिकून बाहेर पडतो तेव्हा तो त्याचा व्यवसाय करायला पूर्ण सक्षम असतो. त्याला कुठेही म्हणजे शिक्षणाच्या व्यतिरिक्त व्यवसायाची उमेदवारी करावी लागत नाही. तो स्वतंत्र त्याचा व्यवसाय करू शकतो. अशा पद्धतीचे अभ्यासक्रम आपण इथे डेव्हलप केले आणि आज यशस्वीपणे ते चालू आहे. त्याच्यात नंतर ज्वेलरी डिझाईनचा कोर्स झाला, लँडस्केप डिझाईनचा जो इंटिरियरशी सबऑर्डिनेट असलेला असा कोर्स आहे तो आपण इंट्रोड्यूस केला. जेमॉलॉजी अँड डायमंड ट्रेडिंगचा कोर्स इंट्रोड्यूस केला. असे ते आपण जवळजवळ बिफोर करोनापर्यंत ही ॲक्टिव्हिटी आपली उत्तम प्रकारे चालू होती. करोना काळात सगळ्याच क्षेत्राला सगळीकडे सेटबॅक आला, पण तो काळ आम्ही आमचा अभ्यास करण्यासाठी वापरला. तेव्हा आमच्या असं लक्षात आलं की हे जे कोर्सेस आहेत ते आपण JRVGTI मधून सर्टिफिकेट कोर्स म्हणून अनेक वर्ष चालवत होतो. आपला JRVGTI आणि डेक्कन एज्युकेशन सोसायटीच्या ब्रँडवर मुलांना त्यांचा क्षेत्रात उभं राहण्याची ताकद नक्की मिळत होती. पण असं लक्षात आलं की सर्टिफिकेटच्या ऐवजी जर आपण डिप्लोमा सर्टिफिकेट म्हणजे डिप्लोमा ग्रांट करू शकलो मुलांना, तर त्याचा नक्की फायदा होईल मुलांना. म्हणजे पुढच्या या क्षेत्रातलं जर पुढचं शिक्षण घ्यायचं असेल तर त्या डिप्लोमाचा त्यांना उपयोग होईल. म्हणून मग आम्ही डी सोसायटीच्या माध्यमातून फर्ग्युसन कॉलेजशी संपर्क केला. फर्ग्युसन कॉलेजनी कुठलाही आडपडदा न ठेवता आमच्या अक्षरशः 2 दिवसात हे सगळं प्रपोजल फायनल झालं. आणि हे जे 5 आपले बेसिक कोर्स आहेत ते आपण फर्ग्युसन कॉलेजला जोडले. आणि तिथे फर्ग्युसन कॉलेज ॲटॉनॉमस असल्यामुळे त्यांना डिप्लोमा देता येतो, तो फर्ग्युसनला देता येत नाही. मग आपण काय केलं, हे सगळे कोर्सेस 2 वर्षाचे केले. 1 वर्ष केला तर डिप्लोमा, 2 वर्ष त्या मुलांनी केला तर ॲडव्हान्स डिप्लोमा. म्हणजे इक्विव्हॅलंट टू डिग्री अशा पद्धतीचं शिक्षण आपण देतो. सर्टिफिकेट इक्विव्हॅलंट टू डिग्री आहे का तर नाही आहे, पण डिग्री केलेल्या मुलाला जे काय ज्ञान प्राप्त होईल ते ॲडव्हान्स डिप्लोमा केलेल्या मुलाला इथं प्राप्त होईल. अशा पद्धतीचे सिलेबस डिझाईन केलं. फर्ग्युसन कॉलेजच्या सहकार्याने गेले 3 वर्ष त्याला उत्तम प्रतिसाद सगळ्यांना मिळतो आहे. वेगवेगळे कोर्स हळूहळू एक फर्ग्युसन कॉलेजला कसे जोडता येतील याची प्रक्रिया आम्ही चालू केली. जे नवीन कोर्स आणायचा जो मध्ये एस्टॅब्लिश करायचा आणि मग फर्ग्युसन कॉलेजला जोडायचा. अशा पद्धतीचं एक रचनाच आपण आता ठरवून टाकली आहे की तो कोर्स चांगला फुलफ्लेट झाला, चांगली विद्यार्थी संख्या यायला लागली, त्याची पॉप्युलॅरिटी वाढली की मग तो फर्ग्युसन कॉलेजला जोडायचा आणि त्याला डिप्लोमा सर्टिफिकेट द्यायचं. अशा पद्धतीचे आपण प्रयत्न चालू करतोय. नवीन कोर्स आणण्याचा इथे चालू झाले. आता आपण एक प्रोसेसमध्ये असलेला कोर्स मी तुम्हाला फक्त सांगतो. आपण केटरिंग हॉटेल मॅनेजमेंटचा कोर्स इथे इंट्रोड्यूस करतोय. पुढच्या वर्षी कदाचित तो येऊ शकेल. आता त्याच्या मान्यता काय त्या प्रक्रियेत आपण आहोत. आता तो जर झाला तर तोही 2 वर्षाचा कोर्स आपण इथं करणार, ज्याला फर्ग्युसन कॉलेजचं सर्टिफिकेट असेल. आणि आत्ताच मी पुणे सरांची चर्चा केली की आम्ही जेव्हा हे सर्वे घेतो सगळे एक ॲडिशनल इनपुट आपल्याला आला की तुम्ही एखादा टेक्निकल कोर्स करण्याची परदेशामध्ये अत्यंत टेक्निशियनची गरज आहे, वायरमन आहे, असे माणसं तिथे लेबर म्हणून मिळत नाही आणि त्याची भयंकर वादवा आहे. तर अशा टाईपचं त्या देशाची लँग्वेज आणि टेक्निकल असं एक जॉईंट सर्टिफिकेट, म्हणजे उदाहरणार्थ जर्मन लँग्वेज विथ प्लंबिंग, जर्मन लँग्वेज विथ वायरमन, असे जर कोर्स तुम्ही डिझाईन केले 1 वर्षाचे, फक्त 1 वर्षाचा कोर्स शिकवता येते, तर आपल्याला बाहेर नोकरीचा 100% ॲश्युरन्स, म्हणजे तो विद्यार्थ्याचं गुणपत्र आणि ते मार्कशीट पाठवली की डायरेक्ट अपॉइंटमेंट लेटर त्या विद्यार्थ्याला येईल, इथपर्यंत आपण ती सगळी चौकशी केली, म्हणजे त्याला जॉब ॲश्युरन्स. आणि 80% त्याचा व्यवसायातलं तिथलं जो काम करतो ते, आणि 20% त्यांनी साईड बाय साईड एज्युकेशन करायचं. अशी 3 वर्ष त्यांनी केली की त्याला त्या विषयातली, म्हणजे प्लंबिंग, इलेक्ट्रिशियन, वायरमन या विषयातली डिग्री तिथे मिळू शकते जर्मनीला. तर अशा पद्धतीचं आपण काही रचना करता येते का याच्या प्रयत्नात आहोत. तर मी तुम्हाला थोडासा इतिहास आणि पुढचे हे सांगितलं. आणि अशा आणि सगळ्यात महत्त्वाचं म्हणजे देहाविधी याची आपण कुठेही घ्यासी जाहिरात करत नाही. खूप फुलपेट जाहिराती आल्या आहेत किंवा रेडिओवर खूप चाललं आहे, असं करत नाही. आपली जी काय आजपर्यंतची पुण्याई आणि विद्यार्थ्यांच्याकडनं बाहेर होणारी माउथ पब्लिसिटी, या दोनवरच ही संस्था उभी आहे. आता तर फर्ग्युसनचा आम्हाला चांगला भक्कम खांदा मिळालेला आहे, त्यामुळे त्याची प्रगती खूप भविष्यकाळात निश्चित आहे. काम करतो.
Thank you, sir. Let's introduce the chief guest of today's function and owner of Milky Way Reasons and Technology Outreach International, Shri Parag Mahajani sir. At the same time, you shall see the glimpses of his professional work on the screen. He is the one who does the complete consultation for building 5 astronomical observations in Maldives, Thailand, Vietnam and India. He spoke more than 2,000 times worldwide on science and technology. He is also the author of nearly 300 articles in the newspapers of India as well as abroad on science and technology. He has a best-selling book on observational astronomy. He is the winner of the Best Literature Award in the state level of Maharashtra government from Science and Technology book. He also discovered four main bed from Penn State Universities of Hawaii and NASA Telescope in 2019-20. He is the member of the Fellow Royal Astronomical Society (FRAS) London, UK in 2006. FRAS is one of the most prestigious fellowships in the world by the Royal Society of UK. He got the appreciation letter from the Burlington House, London. In 1996-97, he was the digital audio specialist in Philips India Limited. In Tech Mahindra, he worked for 11 years as project leader for software projects, senior in education and training, and as senior consultant on its fields such as MBT Excellence Award, Birla Institute of Science and Technology for Satellite Communication, Nehru Center for Program Consultant. He has been highly appreciated by Buzz Aldrin astronaut Apollo 11, second man on the moon in 1969. And APJ Abdul Kalam, ex-president of India, Kalpana Chawla, the first Indian woman reaching space, NASA astronaut. So let's put our hands together to welcome Shri Parag Mahajani sir. And I request Shri Sharad Kunte sir, Chairman GB and Council Deccan Education Society to felicitate.
I would like to invite Shri Parag Mahajani sir, the chief guest, to address the gathering. Over to you, sir.
याचा सरांचा व्यापक परिचय आपण सगळ्यांनी ऐकला, पण त्यांचा एक विशेष गुणधर्म मला माहिती असतो म्हणून मी सांगतो. जसे ते अंतराळात विचरण करत असतात, खूप काम केले त्यांनी ॲस्ट्रॉनॉमीमध्ये, तसं ते थोडे खाली येऊन माउंटेनिअरिंगमध्ये त्यांचा काय ॲडव्हान्स डिप्लोमा झालेला आहे. म्हणजे सगळे उंच उंच शिखर पादाक्रांत केले आणि त्याच्याही पेक्षा जमिनीवरनं समुद्रात पण त्याचं स्कुबा डायव्हिंगमधलं शिक्षण आहे, जिथे त्यांनी काही काळ शॉर्क माशांच्या सहवासात घालवलेला आहे खाली जाऊन. एवढं सगळं तिन्ही याच्यात विचरण करणारा मनुष्याचे पाय मात्र कायम जमिनीवर.
Keeping this light on. This light. This. Good afternoon. I was asked to talk in English. Definitely I speak in English. Thank you very much, Geology here, Fergusson College, and all of you who have spent your time. Especially thank you, Dr. Kunte, Dr. Kamle, Dr. Kulkarni, Shri Gokhale, for inviting me here. The idea was to talk on some subject which I am very passionate about. And as you know, recently we succeeded on landing on the moon. So why not take this talk? And I'm very happy that most of the answers are proper NASA space telescopes or space missions where I work. But this is one of the rare opportunities where I can talk on Indian missions, and I'm quite proud of it. So thank you once again. This is basically quite a long talk, but I will keep it very short so that you will not have to step out. So I was told that you all have completed your diploma, your basic education here in GTI. And I congratulate every month. And those who are joining as well, you are joining a great institute, for sure. It's a historical institute, highly reputed, very high quality education. And that is the reason I'm quite happy to be here. So when I was of your age, don't take me wrong, I'm not that old. Don't go on the visual experience. But when I was of your age, I remember there were many speakers used to come in our college. I'm from Mumbai, and you talk on different topics. And then there are few who used to connect, and that with us, and that was a very great moment for all students. And so when we talk about, say for example, one of the projects like Chandrayaan, so how it can connect to me as an individual, how it can connect to me as a student, maybe a school children, maybe our college students. And so there are so many similarities. Have you thought about it? And so that is why the first slide. The first slide is the most important. And so these are basically, if you see, the qualities which were demonstrated by our scientists. But these are not the qualities of the scientists. These qualities are with everyone. Little bit less, sometimes more. For example, single goal preparation. I will not go into much details, but you know what I am talking about. So if you are more distracted, and you are, because of social media, when I was of your age, there were no things like mobile. There were no things like color television, believe me. So we were not distracted that much. Now there is a tremendous distraction. But single goal preparation, that what ISRO demonstrated, that's a key. Not to ISRO, to each and every one of us, including myself. I am considering myself as one of you, and I am. Self-confidence. See, self-confidence, you have seen the lacking of self-confidence when Chandrayaan 2, last mission, was aborted. But that was for a brief moment of time, and that comes in everyone's life. But how you can overcome that self-confidence? I have seen many foreign people. I visit a lot of countries, and I am doing it for last at least 22 years consecutively. And I have seen different kinds of people. They might be Russians, they might be Arab, they might be South American, United States, wherever, British. And what I have found is that we are a bit less confident. So maybe a lot of colonial impact, wherever. So this is an opportunity to think about it. How we can build that self-confidence. Third is independence. Very critical. Without technology, nothing is possible. Everything is technology. Wherever I am touching is technology. You cannot escape technology. And if we are self-dependent, and that is what we have done, what we are doing, I am not saying we are 100% yet. But yes, it's quite a leap. Can you help us? Can you help India? Can you help Bharat? Because people are looking at you. You are the future of the country. In your discipline, I'm not saying everyone should enter into rocket science. No, it's not everyone's cup of tea. But in your field, hard work, I don't have to explain that. Team spirit. Have you seen the team spirit of ISRO? Yeah. And you might not be knowing a lot of things. Maybe if you get that much time, definitely I will elaborate. So the entire country was helping them, including Pune city. All our industries were helping them. It is not only scientists who work. This is technological challenge. This is not scientific challenge. There is a difference. So not only all the government institutions were helping them, but private institutions, and believe me, some individuals. And that's quite interesting. So team spirit is the main thing. Without team spirit, now those days are gone. When Newton used to sit in his own room, close the door, and his sister was so of love to him that my brother should be fed properly. So she used to bring the food, the dish. But he used to say, no, I don't want to meet you because I don't have that much time, sorry. So she used to slide that dish under the door. And he used to work alone, and he came up with Principia Mathematica, on which the entire rocket science is based of today. Those days have gone. Now it's teamwork only. And the last and not least is Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. What Dhaneshwar has said, He Vishwati Mazekara. So that philosophy we always learn. We appreciate Dhaneshwar Maharaj. But do we follow it in our life? Do you think ISRO's work was only ISRO's work? No. Everyone was supporting them. NASA has supported them, ISA has supported them, JAXA has supported them. Not only that, even South Korean Space Agency has supported us. Because it is a teamwork. What will you do when the spacecraft goes at the other side of Earth, where it is not visible to India? What will you do? Will you say, okay, now let it come back, then we will be in touch? No. So that time, they were taking care of our spacecraft. All the time, 24 hours, even today. So this is quite an important piece, and let me talk about all this, how it happened. And now this is a kind of a video, a small video. If you have audio connected to this, then I can play.
Liftoff will start in T-minus 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We have ignition.
I will talk about each stage and how people help us. this fate on Russia for so many years, right? But they never thought of this way. Can you hear me on this? Yes. I just got it in my hand, so I prefer to be more free. Is it visible? Okay. Hello. Sorry for that. So these are the, excuse me, can you hear me? So these are the leaders. Some of the leaders, I will not say, who created this. And many of them are no more. And you know Nami. Have you seen rocketry? Yes. Yeah. So what a great man. What a great work he has done. So entire liquid propulsion against the popular will of APJ Abdul Kalam and even of Vikram Sarabhai. He went ahead. He said, if we want to do real rocket science, not the Diwali one, then you must have liquid propulsion. And that time we had nothing. And so you might have seen that movie, how he went on to Princeton. Getting in Princeton is next to impossible to believe. Getting in Harvard might be easier. But getting in Princeton is next to impossible. And you know the maximum Nobel laureates of this world today are from Princeton. Maximum number. In all fields, not necessarily physics or mathematics, but all fields. So he convinced, Nami convinced that I will do this. And Vikram Sarabhai supported and sent him to Princeton. And then you are just seeing those movies and you read a book. So he was one of the pioneers. UR Rao was the chief or the main hand behind Chandrayaan project. And because of UR Rao, this could happen. Of course, APJ was there, Homi Bhabha, you know, Satish Dhawan. These are all, and many others, okay? I apologize, I cannot take the names of all, so we don't have that question. But this is the vision. So they were visionary. See, we always think that, okay, I am doing my work and that's it. No. Can I have some kind of a vision? When I see somewhere ahead, I am not saying, I am just taking an example of space sciences here. But this applies to each and every field, whether it is electrical engineering, or whether it is catering, or whether it is photography, or whether it is any kind of discipline. Any kind of discipline. Can you come up with something new? What is your vision? So these people had vision, and they had tremendous difficulties. Okay? But somehow, that vision surpassed those difficulties. So, this is basically a small story about Chandrayaan 3. You might have, we all know this. But there are a lot of new things which you might not be knowing. But the point is not to just give you information. You know, I'm not here to give you information. You can find information on the internet. You don't need me. But what I wanted to connect here is certain incidences with all of us. Okay? So that is the whole point. So let's see. So basically, see, this was the visions. What was the vision? So to demonstrate our understanding, our capability, that we can land safely on some other planet. Now you might ask, why do you want all this? 600 million. Why do you want this? There are so many poor people, right? They don't get food even for one time a day. So why do you want all this? So there are different reasons for this. Think about it. And so when we demonstrate our capability to the world that we can achieve these high-tech things, then the world looks at us differently. And then we start getting the business. Our economy improves. Otherwise, Elon Musk will never look at us. Right? Why he should look at us? Okay. So there are so many things. And we wanted to show the technologies that we have developed. This is another way of self-confidence. So we failed. Everyone failed. NASA has said so many times. Apollo 13. Have you seen Apollo 13? Sorry. Hello. Yeah, okay, thanks. I might look a little bit weird and probably like an idiot, but don't tell me because I want my freedom of wireless. Is it okay? Thank you. Okay. This is very clear. So this was the idea. Now we have developed indigenously variety of things. Okay? From zero, from scratch. You might not be knowing this shard, which is in Andhra, where we have these rockets. You know what used to be there before? Crocodiles. So it was a terrible and dangerous area, and still there are. So you just move the rocket there and everything is emotion. So we have converted such kind of land into some different kind of land. Basically, this rocket is one of the largest in the world at the moment. And what we call as a payload, you can see the arrows there, and this is a payload on your right. So payload, development of payload itself is a feat. And you need all kinds of people for that. And you will be surprised that many youngsters, even at the age of 16, they are developing payloads for ISRO. You know what is the size of the satellite today? What is the size of the satellite? The size of the satellite is 1,000 of your mobile phone. These are called nanosatellites. They are already in place. So to launch a nanosatellite this size, maybe of a tablet, what kind of fuel you need? How can you launch them? You can launch few 100,000 satellites at a go. Because all few 100,000 will not weigh more than 2 kgs. So this kind of technology which is coming up, and we know it, India knows it, but we don't have people to work on it because most of the students are not aware of it. Okay? So in this talk, I will just make you aware of little things which I know. I am definitely not claiming that I know everything. I know very little, but out of that very little, I will share some part with you. Okay? So this is basically, this design is extremely complex. This is called rendezvous and separations. Okay? So we are separating I am not going to all this because you know we are reading in newspapers probably. But what is important here is separation of the module from the propulsion or connecting back to them. You know who was the first person who did this PhD in this field? That in space, how can we connect two objects together precisely? Remember, there is no land, there is no up, there is no down, there is no left, there is no right. There are different kinds of gravities working. So you are floating. How, in that vast space, you can connect these two tiny spacecrafts together precisely with the precision of nanometers? How can you do that? What kind of mindset is required? What kind of technology you need? What kind of education you need? And what kind of demonstration capability you need? And what kind of money? So we have demonstrated all that. That is why this is so powerful. Behind this, there are few million components inside. which makes all. I will not enter into that. My basic subject is electronics, so I can talk on this, on the entire electronics, everything is electronics. But I will not do that. Okay? But this is something what we achieved. Later on, as it landed softly, it failed last time, but because of the software hit. But this is now later on to take this out and allow it to move. Like very one story here. Now we know quite a lot of things. But when Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin landed, that time when the Eagle landed on the Sea of Tranquility, that is a part of the moon. It's not sea, we call it sea, but there is no water. It's a flat. You know what happened? For the next 5 hours, they didn't come out. You're spending so much time, so much money, so much effort, so much training, your whole life. You have reached the moon, you have landed on the moon, and you are not going out. What's this? Huh? 5 hours. You know what was the reason? Not because they were taking sleep. Actually they slept, but that was forced. But it was not necessarily that. That was not the reason. You know what was the reason? We as human beings were not aware how soft is the soil of the moon. People thought, there was some group of scientists, they thought that if we land, we will sink. If we sink, Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin landed. And that was not the mission. What was the mission? To bring them back alive. So now we know that okay, that land is, that soil is not that soft. This has happened. Okay, these are the real stories. They're quite funny, interesting, but they're real stories. So this is what we achieved. Now the point of doing all this is not just to bring the soil of moon, study it, analyze it, and publish some papers. Yeah, it is one of the reasons, yes. But what is the other reason? The other reason, the main reason, is to build the confidence of building and using the technology. Soil already people have bought. It's not a big thing. I have myself touched the lunar rock in Germany. They have kept in the museum. You go to Germany, you need to go to the museum and you can touch the rock. But that was not the point here. Okay? So, this is something very interesting. And all these kinds of things, when this opens, then the action, because this is all automated. No human being is touching it. You know that, right? Probably. So, last 2 days before the land, it was automated systems. And at the last moment of half an hour, it was completely automated. That what it means? It means that if suppose some goof up happens, what will you be doing? Just watching. So that much trust and confidence we have to build in the systems. And that is what was when Mr. Sona was talking about it, the research chairman. So he was saying all the time, we will definitely land, whatever happens. Because the testing which they did was unbelievable. You even can't imagine what they did. You know what they did? One aspect I will tell you. They took this lander, Vikram lander, 3-story. That's something like 36 feet. One story, let's say 12 feet. By crane, on Earth. They lift it up, they dropped it. So it came down, hit the ground. They wanted to check whether it breaks or not. So it broke, of course. So next time, some parts. Next time, little bit. And then, no. Do you know? How many of you know that lander, our Vikram, when it landed on the moon, that you have seen that on video, right? I mean on the TV. But you have missed that point. When it was around 4 meters up. What happened is? Sorry? No, that was hovering. Yeah, that was 4 meters, it was hovering. But later on, what happened, you immediately heard people clapping. Do you remember this? So there should have been a kind of small pause because the lander has to land from 4 meters to ground. तो इतना slow हो जाएगा, it will take some time, right? Did it take that time? No. Why? Because at 4 meters, they released it. उसको छोड़ दिया, बंद कर दिया रॉकेट. So it actually hit the moon's ground. And that was fast. Although it is 1/6 of gravity of Earth, but still it is fast. And that is why the next second was gravity. So this is the technology we wanted to check, because many times on Mars it will happen that Mars we have still lesser gravity and majority of the issues difficult. Mars is much more difficult. Okay, I'm not going to Mars, we don't have that. But this is something where they are testing. Now they landed somewhere here. So this is South Pole. And there are two craters. I will not go into that because the people who observe the moon with us, with telescopes, they might be knowing. But these craters we don't see from Earth because they are a little bit off. And this is the place where Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi announced this as a Shiva Shakti point. It's a great idea. And when it landed and it moved here and there. Okay? So the idea why they wanted to land, I get a lot of questions actually. One of the questions is that why suddenly people started to go to the moon? What happened last 30 years? 1969, 1971, 72. 72 was the last mission, Apollo 17. Right? And then what happened? All next missions abandoned. Why? Because of the stupid Vietnam War. Then no one went to the moon. So suddenly, people started 2005, 2006. China entered, and our Chandrayaan 1 was launched in 2008, but it didn't land because it was not supposed to land. So what happened? That is the first question. Second question is why suddenly people are interested in going to the South Pole of the moon? Apollo missions landed on the equator. All Apollo missions. Landing on the equator is very easy. Lift off from the equator is very easy. Easy in the sense from a point of view. You take less fuel because the speed of movement on the equator is highest. That is why our space station is also very close to the equator, not on the equator because equator is much below. But we are not putting it up towards the poles. So any planet, to land on any planet, is always better to land on the equator. But now we are going to the pole. We are spending extra energy, we are spending extra technology, we are taking much more risk. Why? What happened? So the only reason to this is we have water in the form of ice on the South Pole. If you want to go there, you want to stay, we need water. Okay? So that is the whole reason. And you see, this is the 2500 kilometer area, this was far I see. There is a lot of water. Now you might ask, why there is water here and not anywhere? And the reason is the sun doesn't reach here. So it's damn cold out there. So what happens is the water is fully ice. But it is preserved. And that is what we want. And that is why everyone wants to go here. Now this is the far side of course. And that is what the Chinese they did. So Chinese spacecraft U2, the name is YUTU. They landed on this part. They landed on the other side of the moon, which we don't see. We never see from it. So it was also a difficult issue. Definitely yes. Because you will never communicate with the spacecraft directly. So they did that. Russia failed in 1925, but for different reasons altogether. And we decided to land somewhere here, near Sun. So to check what kind of things we can do. Now you see, this is again, you can use the volume. There is a small video which talks about the technology, because I am not going into the technology part. I don't know. were delivered by coverage. Most of the things were delivered by enemy. Basically, big cylinders, basically for the rockets. Now, these gathered, they use the chips. Because you might know that we don't have technology to build chips, and we have other various chips. But you will be surprised and disappointed the way I am. But we can't make a single chip. Just even IC people find, those who are engineers they know. Simple IC people find. Because we haven't developed that capability. So we have depended upon other people and buy it from them, but we assemble them. So there are many things here in India which we are our own, but yet not with chips. You can't really get. That's why Modi is trying to pursue this particular area, and we want the chip manufacturing area. That is why there are a lot of things which are happening on this in that front, but at the moment the results are not positive. A variety of reasons, laws and regulations. So this entire the mechanical and every part, solar panels, everything we make, but where we lack is optics and electronics. Manufacturing. I am talking about manufacturing, not assembly and using. So at the moment we are dependent upon Germany, we are dependent upon United States, many countries. But surely I hope they don't overcome that difficulty as well. So the entire electrification is free. Now the mother of lander was Chandrayaan 2. So we do not have orbiter for this, you know. So there is no mother to Chandrayaan 2. See, there is always a mothership which is moving around the planet, and there is a child who lands on the planet. Okay? But for this child, there was no mother because it was a surrogate mother. And that was Chandrayaan 2. And it was perfectly fine. So when Vikram landed, Vikram is the name coming from Vikram Kesara. And when Vikram landed, that time what it did first, it first communicated in this surrogate. And when they had established handshake, people handshake, and then later on, it started communicating with our centers in Karnataka. So this is in touch with many at the same time, because you never know, it can fail, something can fail. So there are many payloads. Now payload is basically what is it on that rocket? Is it just to send a rocket, you'll be happy? No. So what happens once it lands? What's next? Right? So we need to do some experimentation. Now most of the experimentation is from two angles. One is we wanted to land, or we wanted to launch Fergusson with our people in space, not on the moon at the moment, which is long ago, but in space. That's first. And second is we wanted to bring a lot of soil and a lot of information from moon so that we can have our base there. So what is the idea? The idea is we want to proliferate. That's why I put that Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, because that is what the entire world is adopting. So we don't want to stay on Earth. We want to spread. We want to go on moon. We want to have a base. Our children may be studying on the moon in some university. Maybe Fergusson College might have their branch there. Why not? And not only moon, okay? Mars is the next mission. So this is entire thing is a stepping stone for that vision. And this vision, see how important the vision is. If you have a right vision, you see generations work. Right vision. Hitler has a wrong vision. So generations destroyed. So this depends upon the people who have vision. And that's very important, very critical. Because many generations' life is on them. So this is what we wanted to plan. Not only Mars, we are looking for Titan. Titan is the moon of Saturn. And we believe that there is a life form on Titan, but not a life you, me, and you see. It can be microbes. It can be microorganisms. Okay? So it can be very tiny. It can be only in a microscope. But we have a kind of a suspicion that there is life on Triton because Triton has oceans. Triton has liquid oceans. And so that is the next. But these are, the distance is the main challenge. And that's why these instruments, the first time, see we are measuring first time. So what are you going to measure? The structure of the rocks. Because if you want to go and put a building on the moon, how much we have to give? What kind of elements? Are there diamonds? Diamond is a carbon, Sorry for that, diamond is very beautiful. But basically it's carbon. Sorry for that, but that's what science is. And so there are various types of elements. And so we wanted to check those. So that's why these, now who has developed these? We have developed this. In our own work, we have developed this. But we need people for this. Because there are so many things which we are not known at the moment. And see, this is the result. So we have got, see these lines, just don't go in details, don't get afraid. I know it's your physics, but don't get afraid. These are just basically showing that these elements exist. We have magnesium, we have calcium, we have potassium. You will be surprised. Have you noticed? People used to say that there is no atmosphere on the moon. Now people say that we wanted to check that very thin atmosphere. Because now we know that there is plasma which comes from the ground, from the regolith. We call soil of moon is regolith. So that from that regolith we get that kind of a plasma. Plasma is basically particles which are electrified. Like you see the rockets, any rockets, or even just in the lightning. Simple example is that. Okay. So that we have found here. So those kinds of elements exist. Now see, this is the kind of an image. This is another interesting stuff. Now Chandrayaan 2 has taken the image of Chandrayaan 3's lander landed on the moon and sending it close. Isn't it amazing? I mean, how can you do this? What kind of communication you need? Everything. What kind of computing you need? I'm from computing side. I do a lot of computing. But what do you need for that? What kind of electronics you need? What kind of wireless you need? These are the questions I'm just throwing in front of you. I'm not here to show you Chandrayaan 3. That you have already seen. So think about this. How can I do this? Now suppose there is one base here on the moon, there is another base on Mars, and you are on Earth. And you wanted to communicate with a child who is on Mars, but you cannot communicate with him or her. Because Mars is in the other side of the sun. How will you communicate? So you will communicate with the moon first. The moon will send an elementary signal to Mars and asking your child, how are you? The child will respond back and this will come close. Now imagine if Corona is failed. So these are the things which we are testing. There is something called supply chain. You might have heard that name. Supply chain. So how to supply the things in space? For example, when last Elon Musk flight is 2009, but before that, last year, so he sent 4 astronauts in space, which were docked to the International Space Station, which they are limited. So these people stay there for 6 months, and they study what is happening on their body. So what is happening in their bones and their nervous system and all the systems of the human body. So these people, men and women, they stay in the station. So they need honey. So how can you send honey? So this is where supply chain comes from. So which plan, what is your plan, which is the next mission, how that next mission can dock. See, this is called rendezvous. That rendezvous system was first studied and first PhD in the world was of Buzz Aldrin, who landed on the moon with Neil Armstrong. So Buzz Aldrin's PhD was on rendezvous. That how in this vast universe, how can you connect these 2 spacecraft from different countries with different technologies, with different people? Launched at different times. How can you connect them together with an accuracy of nanometers? Nanometer is 1 billionth part of a meter. Meter is 3 feet. So 1 billionth part of it, that matches. So these are the things which are happening there. But most of us are not aware of. Okay? Fine. So this is something about Vikram. This is another nice, beautiful video made by ISRO. And again, the technology which I am not going to, otherwise we will not be able to finish this whole my talk in one video. So here. Let us have a word, couple of things. So these are most of the things are made here. This is a cylinder, and this is a very simple design. What is it there? This is just a rhomboid, and it is a cylinder, simple. But then they have made these legs very strong, so that it can withstand a shock. And then this electronics is hardened. These are the processes. See, these processes, they are not there with us. Now what is hardening? Now this is my mobile. And I buy something like whatever it is, 30,000, whatever it is, 50,000. So if it is 50,000 rupees costing mobile, if my space hardened it, that is what our instruments are. The cost will go to that. 4 times. Because then it will withstand the ultraviolet rays. We are safe. We can just wear simple shirts and pants and roam around. There is sun who is so much in ultraviolet. But we are safe because our atmosphere filters out the ultraviolet. But here, there is no atmosphere. On Mars, no atmosphere. So how will you survive? I don't want to do that astronaut race, and walk like that all the time. I don't want to be free, right? I just want to be from a short t-shirt and go around. How will you do it? We can't, right? I don't want it. Because we will be immediately get cancer, skin cancer. Because right now it is focused on nothing important, it is water machine, immediate. So we are testing it. So that's but our electronics is testing it. And so we have to make it hard. So we cannot make ourselves hard. So what can we do? So we can have a kind of a dome. Like a city, so Pune city, under a dome. Everyone inside a dome. So you are not seeing the last day is too long. A few kilometers. And then you see inside, and then you drop where you want. So the wall, that basically is a transparent balloon. A massive balloon. So these are the ideas which are under testing. So this is not only to bring the soil from money. Okay? So these are the missions. Many people have about it. Many are previous prime ministers, current prime minister, or previous scientists, current scientists, they all are thinking about it. So how can we spread ourselves? How can we learn about this mission and scientific? So this is the software we want. Because there are people, what are doing? Machines may survive, people will not. And that is not happening, Like mission on the system. They say first command, then a dog, even a dog, then a man, during a day, then a woman, that has been a Veshkova, and then they start treating more and more people. So they are testing it, but this test is only around Earth. The space station is just 300 kilometers. From Pune to Nagpur is 800 kilometers. So if you go just 150 kilometers, you are in space. But the difficulty is to break gravity. And that is where all these risks come in. So Vikram had multiple payloads. I am not going to those payloads. But this is something important. So this wanted to check what is the atmosphere on the moon. Otherwise you go and you get it, you die. What's the point? So there are various equipment. So these are very simple equipments in a way. Okay, this radio, this instrument was developed in 1960s. But now they are using it. So it is not necessary. This is one very important point. Some of you may get it and you may use it in your own profession. Don't neglect or don't reject everything which is old. And there now, Don't accept everything which is good. Okay? So this, say for example, this particular instrument, which we call Brahma, okay, it has a different meaning, later anatomy of moon, bound, hypersonic, nanoscale, forget about that. But this one was developed in 60s. And so this will discover whether there is a poisonous plasma coming out. So that once we go there, we don't want to stay in that plasma. We have to do some different activities. Now another thing, see, here the temperature is something like 27, 28 degrees. Right? So on the moon, the temperature varies like anything. So we will not survive if the temperature goes beyond 52 degrees or 53 degrees. It becomes very difficult, we will die. Okay? So that is why this greenhouse effect and all these people are talking. The reason is the temperature is increasing by half a degree, half a degree. So it is dangerous. So here you see the danger. Now you are just, see, millimeters, this is 80 millimeters, this is 8 centimeters, this size. This size, 8 centimeters. Now if you go 8 centimeters below the moon's soil, 8 centimeters, the temperature is minus 10 degrees. And you just go above the soil 2 centimeters. What is the temperature? It was 60 that day. Because this is not purple. So this is a challenge. How can you handle this temperature change? Minus 8 centimeters to plus 2 centimeters. This one. The temperature is minus 10 and it's plus 16. You will be vaporized. And otherwise you will be. So these are the things which we are testing and these are the results which we are getting. So that is why these payloads are important. People will say that hey, you are safe on the moon because there are no moonquakes, like there are earthquakes. And then we realize no, there are moonquakes. And you see the moonquake is recorded here. So this is showing there was a moonquake. So how can you build a house there? You need the help of Japan to do that. Right? So these are some of the very interesting things which are coming out from this lander model. Now this is also very interesting phase because the propulsion and lander got separated. You might have realized I am going opposite way. We first landed on the moon, we talked about the rover, then we talked about Deccan as a lander, now we are talking about propulsion and ultimately we talk about rocket industry. Okay. I am taking the opposite route because the discoveries have happened at that point. And you see here how this got separated. Now very distant separation, these orbits are very important. There is nothing like orbit, right? There is nothing like this line. This is imaginary. Is there something like called equator? Can you see that equator? Can you touch it? No, because it is imaginary. So this is imaginary line. So you have to put your physical spacecraft in the imaginary line. So that makes it very complex because if you make a little mistake here, there is a very large mistake. So this is how we did that, we achieved it. And what is its job? That's very interesting. Now you might ask this orbiter, once he released that orbiter released that lander go and land on moon. Bye bye, thank you. Then what that orbiter will do? So the orbiter also has a job. Orbiter is looking at Earth from moon. Orbiter is looking at Earth. It will remain there. It is observing Earth from a very stranger point of view. Hey, that planet has life. So what are the signatures which I can detect from the distance of moon? Why we want this? Because we want to find other planets having life. And we know at least 4,000 planets we call exoplanets. But we don't know whether it has life. Because it is very difficult to go that distance. We don't have the technology yet. Okay? So this payload basically is for shape. So this is looking at Earth and studying it from that point of view. Okay, the planet having life, how it behaves. What are the types of clouds, what kind of rotations and all those things. That will be used for other planets. This is the communication. So communication is a very important point. If you lose the communication for a second, there is a risk of you are losing the 600 million. So So here the importance of milliseconds comes into picture. We know importance of milliseconds comes in Olympic Games also. You lose or you win, right? But same thing is space. So many, I'm not going to all that, but so many people are living. So these dots indicate that some are in Southeast Asia, some are in Latin America, some are in Europe, some are in India, some are in the United States. So they all are connected to that and doing it. Now what is the difference between these two channels and 2 channel and 3? So people ask, what is the difference? What is specialty in that? So these are the words. This is another interesting stuff. I just made one point on it and go ahead. There are so many things. When you design something, you might be an engineer, you might be an interior designer, you might be an architect, or you might be a chef. So you are designing something. There are 2 types. One, your philosophy is success, and one is your philosophy is failure. It means that how can I build this building? Assuming that there is going to be an earthquake. The earthquake is of Richter scale say 8.5, which is killing. So this is failure. So if I know that this earthquake is going to hit me and this building, how should I build this structure so that this structure and the people inside survive? This is called failure-based design. And Chandrayaan 3 did this. And my personal understanding is that every spacecraft should be based on failure design. Because one parameter in 100,000 parameters changes and you immediately fail. So this is what they used. And that is why Mr. Somnath was all the time saying, "Kuch bhi ho jaye, hamar line karo." I will not go into that design. That's very interesting, but that needs another talk. Okay? Other things were there, the legs were stronger and all other things. But that's okay. But the main thing was that. Now, this is something very crucial. We couldn't get it. Entire Nabi's movie is based on this. Why the developed countries do not want us to develop craft? Because they knew. Okay. Sorry, I am going too fast. See, APJ Abdul Kalam, he has immense contribution. One of his contributions was that of solid rocket boosters. You see at the sides. Just solid rocket boosters. So you have powder. You have aluminum powder. You have a variety of powders. I mean, there are a lot of alloys. And so they burn and they take you up. Like our Diwali rocket. Okay. So Diwali rocket is a rocket itself with some powder inside. But then Nambi was his contemporary. He said, "No, sir. If you want to go beyond Diwali rockets," this was his words, not mine. Never his words. To become survive. Then you must have liquid products. And there was a debate in the 1960s. We didn't have money. There was no ISRO. It was just Department of Space. And so they decided to have this liquid stage. But we did not know how to do it. Because the problem with liquid stage is that we need that propellant for minus 130 degrees centigrade. You have to lift it off with this minus 130 degrees centigrade. So that is why Nambi was sent to Houston. He learned and he was excellent in that. And he got that. And then he realized, then we had some rockets. Even Mangalyaan is based on Vikas. Vikas engine was developed by Nambi. And Vikas is V-I-K-A-S, Vikram A-Saravali. V-I-K-A-S. So Vikas engine was developed by him. Of course, they were twins. Okay. And Mangalyaan was saved by Vikas engine. Mangalyaan did not use cryogen. Because the next stage, the most difficult stage is cryogen. Now, cryogenic stage I will not explain, it is too long. But in short, one sentence, we have two liquids with two propellants which are liquids. But the challenge is, one is at minus 130 and another is minus 240. You have to take them, and they are inflammable. And then you have to put them together here, and then you have to fly with people on the top. It can burst. This is rocket science. No jokes. So how can you do this? And how can you mix them together so you get that flame, and then as per the laws of Newton, it goes up. Third law. But how can you make them together? What kind of material you use? Do you use carbon? Do you use stainless steel? Or do you use any other material? Don't know. So this was a challenge, and people, to be very specific, United States, Russia, China I'm not saying, but these two, they do not want us to have it. Why? Because they were afraid that these people will launch missiles, intercontinental ballistic missiles. So I can target New York directly. And so that is why that all the charges on Nambi and all that thing. So they succeeded, those people, because our program got delayed by 15 years. Because we are all stuck into all these litigations and nonsense. In that time, European Space Agency built Ariel and won billions of dollars of business. But that's pathetic. That is what it has happened. But we did it, and this is the cryogenic stage. And then this stage takes, this is the cryogenic stage, this part, right? And then it takes the people up, all the other things. And then there are multiple things. Okay? I don't have much time, I think. Maybe 5 minutes. Okay. So this is how we progress. Now you see there are so many complications, I will not go into that. And each complication needs a proper engineering solution. And many engineers and scientists. Even a single stage fails, everything fails. Okay? That is why if you have seen on the television, people were clapping intermittently. Because they knew that, oh wow, this stage we crossed. Wow, this is a success. This stage we crossed. Next. This stage we crossed. Next. And believe me, Aditya L1 mission was more difficult than this. As far as rockets. And we achieved that. Because it needs quite a complicated trajectory. But sometime later we will talk about that. And so these are the trajectories which we need to take. So here, this is all free. Do you know that? This is all free. So all this movement which goes up is free. Because we take, it's like a catapult. So if you have a catapult, you rotate it and you release it. Once you release it, it goes in that direction. So same thing here, it's like a catapult, and who releases it? The Earth's gravity. So we give a little thrust and it goes into another orbit. It goes back, a little more thrust, another orbit. And ultimately it goes so high that Moon captures it. And once Moon captures it, what we have to do? We have to do opposite of that. गाड़ी को रिवर्स करना है. So उसका स्पीड कम करना है, बढ़ाना नहीं है, स्पीड कम करना है. So that is what we are doing. And so you have this orbit, then this orbit, and this, and this, and this, and ultimately it came to 100 kilometers. So very close to the Moon. And then this different soft landing mechanism launches. So this is completely automated now. And here they failed at 2 kilometers, basically here. 2 kilometers you see, somewhere here. That it failed. We are not going to that, it's a software buff mission, but so here then we have this lander, and then this lander goes down and it has 2 velocities. So the idea is to make it straight. So it was just slipping like this, and then you have to make it straight. Hey, stand up, you land. And look down, they are looking up, don't look up, look down. Because then, otherwise the lander will never know where is the land. So that is the phase which is this phase. So this was achieved at 7 kilometers. And so the altimeter started looking down. They were sleeping happily. So once they woke up, started looking down. Oh, wow. And then they knew that okay, then there is a catalog of Moon's photographs called Kaguya. Kaguya was a Japanese mission to Moon. Kaguya, K-H-U-Y-A. amazing photographs, extremely high resolution, high density photographs. So that map, entire thing was given to the brain of this lander. This lander has a microprocessor, microcontroller. And so the altimeters were checking, okay, where I am, and checking with the maps. No, go this way, no, go that way, no, go that way. And then ultimately after 700 kilometers moving ahead, it found a stream. And then started descending. And then it has retro-thrusters because the speed was very high. So you have to reduce the speed, reduce the speed, reduce the speed. And then ultimately it was hovering. So this is a new step. We wanted to check that can you have a helicopter on the moon? Now we say, what is the big deal? Because we have on Earth. But no, the moon doesn't have an atmosphere. So how can you have it? So this was the test and they succeeded. So that's why it was hovering 20 seconds, coming down, going ahead, coming down, hovering 20 seconds. And then at the last 4 meters, engine shut. Come down. Okay, so this was the mechanism which was used, and I'm sure they will increase. Now the last slide. So these were the people, you don't even not read it in 1 minute. So many institutes involved. So many people at different places in the world. Many times we do not know what's happening in our India itself. So many developments have been done. Great. So this is a nice video. It doesn't have an audio, I think. Sorry. Yeah. So you see the South Pole, where we want to go and stay. This is the last slide. Where we want to go and stay on the moon. So this will show you. This entire video is I don't remember exactly, but it is from NASA's Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter (LRO) mission, which is still rotating. Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter found out the remains of Chandrayaan-2. Okay, so it is so high resolved photograph. So it has done that, and you see there are few, I think more than 60,000 photographs compiled together to make this video. So a lot of work has been done. And you see these are the craters, south region. And you can see the shadows. You see the shadows of the craters moving because the sun is moving around. So sun is on the horizon there. And so sun is moving around, you see the shadows moving. And then you will see Chandrayaan-1 as well as LRO. They both discovered water molecules. And then they plotted. These are the water molecules. So this is all water in the craters. Now craters are very big. Sometimes 5 kilometers, sometimes 10 kilometers. One Pune city can fit in one crater. That big. Okay? So it's full of water but ice. So this we wanted to check. Now they are checking the spacecraft is changing the positions, and so you see how the terrain is getting mapped. And so we know where we wanted to go and we know where we do not want to go. Okay? So you see the different kinds of water levels here and variety of other details, the geological features. Because geology becomes very important when you are studying planets. Because you want to go and stay there. You cannot stay in the sky. You have to stay on the planet. International Space Station is fine for some experimentation, but you cannot stay there forever. Right? So you need some land, and for that you need geophysics or geology. So this is basically the study of those kind of craters that happen. Okay. I think that's it. This is kind of a home we are planning to have. These are the lava tubes. So these are real tubes. Okay. So the tubes means because of the lava, ancient lava, there are caves. So we stayed, the ancient human beings, they stayed in the caves. So the modern living beings on the moon will stay in the caves. Okay? To start with. Because these caves will save us from ultraviolet radiation from the sun or any other poisonous radiation which comes from sun. So this is one of the designs. Of course, there are a lot of things people are defining. Now people have gone ahead, they say that okay, we have this house, now let us build air conditioning. Completely. Okay, what will be the toilet system? That's also very important. So how will you take care of all these things? So that is what is all about this lesson. So again, coming back to the important lessons: perseverance, self-confidence, great independence, team spirit, advancements, hard work, and possibility. That's it from me. I think. Thank you. This is me with Buzz Aldrin. So I did an observatory in Thailand. So Buzz Aldrin came there. They're staying with me. I'm lucky, actually. I'm very lucky. So we had a lot of chat. It was great fun. Thank you very much. Thank you. If you have questions, maybe one or two. I don't know how much time we have, but we arrange the things. If you have any questions, I can answer. Maybe very few, but I think one or two. 5 minutes. Okay. So what are the questions? No questions? Anything? No questions? Ladies first.
So my question was,
Who is yeah.
की lunar soil म्हणजे heat conduct करू शकत नाही का? Because 8 centimeters वरती एवढा temperature difference आहे. Or even like craters मध्ये जिथे shadow पोहोचत नाही तिथे water freeze आहे. So
Yes. What we are there, I got a question. The lunar soil, is it a conducting medium or not? Okay. So the straight answer to this question is it is not. Okay. It's basically minerals, variety of minerals, and we wanted to find out up to what level it can transfer heat, and that's why this Rambha experiment is basically to check the transfer of heat. Because we will use that same soil to build our houses. One more last question.
So,
Yes.
so what are we going to do to solve the problem of space debris? Space debris. Like maybe we will be
You are
working
going to
on
decide. No answer. Okay? So that is the problem of human beings. जहाँ जाते वहाँ कचरा करते हैं. That's a fact. It's very difficult to remove debris. See now, I do not know honestly what we will do with the space debris we already have. A lot. But now, from now onwards, European Space Agency or even SpaceX, they do not deposit something in space. They bring it back. So the rockets also land. And ESA, European Space Agency, they are also creating the rocket. We will also do that, believe me. So that we will not waste our rockets first of all, and we will not burn it in space and create a lot of carbon dioxide. But the challenge remains, what will we do of the spacecrafts which are no more functioning? So ISRO did one experiment and ESA did one experiment. So ESA did one of the dead spacecrafts, they decommissioned it, they deorbit it. So the deorbit it means that spacecraft starts coming in spiral fashion and enters into Earth's atmosphere and burns. But doing it for all is very difficult because people think that it might fall on my head. It should not fall on the city of Pune. So similarly, every city will say, I don't want it to fall on my city. So what to do? That's a question. Okay? But yes, there are people who are trying to. We do not have a direct answer for this. Great. I think everyone is here. Thank you. Our last question. Okay. Yeah.
पण अर्थ रेडिएशन सारखं मूनचं काही रेडिएशन आहे का, आणखीन काही स्ट्रॉंग टाईप काही आलं स्पेसमधून किंवा चंद्रावरून, तर त्याच्यासाठी प्रोटेक्शनला काय
त्याच्यासाठी प्रोटेक्शन चंद्रावरती मिळते ना तुम्ही? हां, देयर इज नो प्रोटेक्शन.
कारण सरफेसवरनं पण येऊ शकतं आणखीन.
There is no protection. So there is no atmosphere. There is no protection. So we are safe because there is atmosphere, but there is no pollution. So that we have to take care of.
शील्डचा फारसा उपयोग होईल असं-
शील्डचा उपयोग होऊ शकतो. मग कुठल्या टाईपचे शील्ड वापरायचं, त्याच्यामध्ये कुठल्या प्रकारचे धातू असतील हे महत्त्वाचं.
कारण ते फक्त बाहेरचा विचार करतायत पण सरफेसवरचं पण
सरफेसवरनं सुद्धा एखादं वादळ येऊ शकतं. आता वादळाची शक्यता कमी मार्सवर आहे, पण चंद्रावर नाही.
जर तुमचं काही दुसऱ्या प्लॅनेटवरचं
हा
एखादं
येऊ
असेल
शकतं.
तर
ॲस्ट्रॉइड येऊ शकते का, तर नक्की येऊ शकते. मग त्यावेळेला काय करायचं? सो दिस इज अन ओपन क्वेश्चन. Thanks for this. But this is an open question. We do not have answer to all the questions. But yes, these are the questions. You know. Great. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for running us through a memorable journey of an unforgettable event of our country. Once again, big round of applause.
As we're moving on to the convocation ceremony of the rank holders, I remember that I wrote few words before. It goes like this. Fly as high as you can. It's your wings, your flight, and your sky, because no one is going to stop you.
Those are some wonderful words, Vinita.
Now let's start from what we all are waiting for. Certificates and mementos will be conferred by the hands of our chief guest, Sri Parag Mahajani, sir.
Rank holders should come from the left side of the stage, receive convocation, go to the guest and audience, and then wait for the photograph.
First program, 2-year advanced diploma in interior design.
Rank 5, Shweta Suresh Dudhane. Rank 4, Anjali Ashok Davekar.
A loud applause, please.
Rank 3, Shubham Sanjay Gandhi. rank 2, Minal Bharat Kumar Chaudhary. And the rank 1, Diksha Manor Devrukkar.
Next program is 2-year Advanced Diploma in Landscape Design. First year student of diploma.
Rank 1, Kanchan Namdev Gode.
Next program, Diploma in Advertising and Communication Design. First year.
Rank 1, Sanjana Raju Paitram.
Next program, Advanced Diploma in Advertising and Communication Design. Second year.
Rank 1, Chaitali Suresh Mutha.
Next program, Advanced Diploma in Fashion Design. First year.
Rank 1, Kiran Shankar Negi. She also got the endowment prize in the name of late Shri Harsh Chandra Bardava.
Next program is Fundamental of Astronomy.
Shubh Deepak Rote, New English School, Tilak Road, Pune. He got the endowment prize in the name of late Shri Arvind Kusnawar.
Next program is Needy Student in Diploma in Landscape Design.
Nikita Pawar, she got the endowment prize in the name of late Srimati Nilima Kanetkar.
Congratulations, rank holders and all pass of students of Fergusson College of 2023 batch, and welcome once again of the students of 2023 batch. The pass of students will get their certificates right after the
Now I request Honorable Dr. Sharad Gurdeshwar, Chairman, GB, and Council Deccan Education Society for his presidential address.
नमस्कार. दोन खूप मोठ्या गोष्टी आता झालेल्या आहेत. महाजनी चळवळीचं अतिशय अभ्यासपूर्ण आणि ज्या विषयामध्ये आपल्या सगळ्यांना अतिशय रस होता, कारण तिने प्रत्यक्ष त्या कार्यक्रमाच्या वेळी पाहिलं असेल इथलं चळवळ कसं उतरलं ते, तर त्याच्या पाठीमागचं सगळं तंत्रज्ञान त्यांनी मांडलं. त्यामुळे फार सुरेख वातावरण आता असे निर्माण झालेलं आहे. आणि दुसरी गोष्ट, आपल्या विद्यार्थ्यांनी जे काही आपल्या अभ्यासक्रमामध्ये कौशल्य दाखवलं आहे, काही ना काहीतरी उत्तम गुणवत्ता मिळवली आहे, त्याचं कौतुकाचा विषय झाला. त्यामुळे आणखी पुढे भाषणाची ठरवण्याची आवश्यकता काही नाही. हा उपदेश करण्याचा प्रसंगच नाही, वेळच नाही. फक्त या दोन्हीमध्ये असलेला एक कॉमन फॅक्टर मी आपल्याला जरा लक्षात आणून देतो, कृपा करून त्याच्यामध्ये आपल्याला काही करता आलं पहा. चंद्रयान 3चं यश सांगताना महाजनी सरांनी वारंवार सांगितलं की हे यश एकतर सगळ्यांचं मिळून केलेल्या कामाचं यश होतं आणि हे आपण इंडिजिनियसली तयार केलेल्या टेक्नॉलॉजीचं यश होतं. टेक्नॉलॉजी हे फक्त रॉकेट उडवण्याच्या बाबतीतच कामाला येते अशाचा भाग नाही. आपण जे काही काम करत असतो, फॅशन डिझायनिंगमध्ये एखादं नवीन काहीतरी आपल्याला वस्तू बनवायची आहे, त्याच्यासाठी काहीतरी वेगळं एखादं टेक्निक वापरलं आपण, किंवा लँडस्केपिंगमध्ये काही एखाद्या सगळ्या परिसराचा योग्य अभ्यास करण्यासाठी एखादं नवीन तंत्रज्ञान आपण वापरलं. हे टेक्नॉलॉजीच आहे, इनोव्हेशनच आहे. त्याच्यातून आपल्या ज्ञानामध्ये आणि आपल्या प्रगतीत भरच पडणार आहे. त्यामुळे आपण ज्या क्षेत्रात आहोत त्या क्षेत्रात काही ना काही छोटं नवीन आपल्याला करून दाखवता येईल का? उदाहरण सांगतो इथे. आपल्या इथे हिंदुस्थान अँटीबायोटिक शाळा आहे. त्या हिंदुस्थान अँटीबायोटिक शाळेमध्ये वेगवेगळे सायंटिफिक एक्सपेरिमेंट्स मुलांच्या आपण करून घेतले आणि त्याला हे सांगितलं की काही जण तुम्ही नवीन करायचा प्रयत्न करा. 8वीतल्या एका मुलाने छोटा प्रयोग केला. त्यांनी सायकल, जी आपली साधे नेहमी सायकल चालवतो, ती सायकल पंक्चर झाली. तर ती ढकलत न्यावी लागते, बसून तर काय चालवता येत नाही पंक्चर झाल्यावर. आणि ढकलत त्या सायकलच्या दुकानामध्ये नेसतो, अजून 10-5 पंक्चर होतात. त्याच्यात ट्यूबच बदलायची वेळ येते. त्याने त्याला व्यवस्था अशी केली की त्या मोठ्या चाकाला एक छोटं चाक, जसं आपण बॅग ओढत नेतो ना त्या छोट्या चाकाच्या मदतीने, तसं छोटं चाक एका लिव्हरच्या मदतीने बसवलं. सायकल पंक्चर झाली की ती फक्त लिव्हर दाबायची, ती छोटं चाक खाली येईल, मोठं चाक वर सरकेल, जे पंक्चर झाले ते. आणि त्या छोट्या चाकाच्या मदतीने निदान सायकलच्या दुकानापर्यंत तुम्ही चालवत जाऊ शकता. तिथे गेल्यावरती लिव्हर परत वर करायची, चाक दुरुस्त करायचं, चालला पुढे. आता हे त्या मुलाला ती लिव्हर बसवणं सुचलं. दॅट इज टेक्नॉलॉजी, दॅट इज इनोव्हेशन. काही फार प्रचंड केलं पाहिजे अशातला काही भाग नाही. काल आम्ही आपले जे नवीन युनिव्हर्सिटी सगळे तयार होते DSC, त्या युनिव्हर्सिटीला जी कमिटी आली होती, सगळ्या सचिव, 7 वेगवेगळ्या स्तराचे सचिव सगळे पाहायला आले होते. तुम्ही खरंच काही त्या ताकदीने उभं करताय का नाही, का नुसतं आम्हाला दाखवलं आम्ही युनिव्हर्सिटी करतो म्हणून. आल्यानंतर त्यांनी सहज प्रश्न विचारला की तुम्ही एखाद्या मुलामध्ये असं काही नवीन तंत्रज्ञान निर्माण करू शकण्यासाठी काय करू शकता? तयारी आपल्या लोकांनी आधी केलीच होती. त्याप्रमाणे त्यांनी तिथल्या डिपार्टमेंटमध्ये काम करणारा एक शिक्षक त्याला बोलवलं की इनोव्हेशन म्हणून जो आपण विषय सुरू केला विभाग, त्याच्यातून पहिलं तुम्ही काय केलेलं ते दाखवा. आणि त्याने अगदी छोटं युनिट, म्हणजे खुर्चीवर बसला माणूस तर त्या खुर्चीला चाकं लावून अपंग माणूस हा ढकलत नेऊ शकतो ती खुर्ची पुढे. पण जिना चढायचं असेल तर मग त्या खुर्चीवरून जिना नाही चढता येणार, ते चाकं लावल्या खुर्चीला. त्यामुळे तो त्या हँडलच्या मदतीने किंवा दुसऱ्या एखाद्या साधनाने सरळ प्लेन रस्त्यावर चालत जाऊ शकेल, खुर्ची नेऊ शकेल पुढे. पण जिना चढून जायचं असेल तर त्याला उपयोग नाही. त्यांनी त्याला एक वेगळी लिव्हर बसवली आणि आपलं स्वस्तिक असतं की नाही, त्या स्वस्तिकच्या आकाराचे असं एक लाकडी फळी, स्वस्तिकच्या आकाराचे कापलेले तुकडे त्याचे, ते एका बाजूने बसवले तिथे. आणि जिना आला की तो लिव्हर फिरवून ते स्वस्तिक जे आहे ते टेकेल जिन्याच्या पायरीला एका. त्यांनी हे दाबलं हँडल की त्या स्वस्तिकच्या पुढच्या टोकाच्या प्रेशरमुळे ती खुर्ची उचलली जाऊन एक पायरी वर जाईल, पुन्हा दुसऱ्या पायरीला त्या पुढचा टेक टेकेल, पुन्हा त्या हँडलचा रेट खुर्चीवरपर्यंत जाऊ शकतो. हे त्याने करून दाखवलं ते की आम्ही या साध्या खुर्चीमध्ये की जे अपंगांना चालण्यासाठी उपयोगी खुर्ची आहे त्याच्यात छोटा इनोव्हेशन केलं, बदल केला. दॅट इज टेक्नॉलॉजी. हा प्रचंड आपल्याला बदल केला तरच काही सगळं जग बदलतं अशातला भाग नाही. आपल्या क्षेत्रात ज्या क्षेत्रात आपण काम करतो त्याच्यात काही ना काहीतरी नवीन, काही ना काहीतरी आपले काम अधिक सुकर होईल, अधिक चांगल्या पद्धतीने होईल अशी आपण कल्पना लढवली तर आपल्या कामाची गुणवत्ताही वाढते, वेग वाढतो आणि त्याचं ॲप्रिसिएशन समाजातल्या सगळ्या क्षेत्रामध्ये निश्चितपणे होतं. तुम्ही सगळे तंत्रज्ञान क्षेत्रात काम करणारच माणसं म्हणजे जे आर व्हिजिट याचा अर्थच नेहमीच पारंपरिक शिक्षणापलीकडे जाऊन काहीतरी तंत्रज्ञानाच्या आधाराने शिक्षण घेणे आणि त्याच्यातून समाजात उभं राहणे असं सगळे लोक आहेत. त्यामुळे हा जो एक मंत्र महाजनी सरांनी दिला आहे की इंडिजिनस टेक्नॉलॉजी, स्वतः काही ना काहीतरी आपल्या क्षेत्रात तयार करणं, त्याचा उपयोग करणं, याचा सदैव ध्यास घेऊन आपण काम करूया. अशा छोट्या छोट्याच गोष्टी शोधाव्या लागतात की त्याच्यातून मोठी कामं होतात. तुमच्याकडे एक क्षमता निश्चितपणे आहे, त्याला योग्य ते प्रोत्साहन या कार्यक्रमातून मिळेल अशी मी अपेक्षा व्यक्त करतो. तुम्हाला सगळ्यांना मनापासून शुभेच्छा. धन्यवाद.
Thank you so much, sir, for these motivational words.
Now I request Vinayak Ramdasi sir for vote of thanks.
नमस्कार. वसुधैव कुटुंबकम या एका मंत्रामध्येच आजच्या या कार्यक्रमाची सांगता करावीशी मला वाटते. आपल्या या कार्यक्रमासाठी पराग माधवी सर आपला वेळ काढून आले आणि आपल्याला खऱ्या अर्थाने चांदण्याच्या त्या वातावरणात परत नेलं त्याबद्दल आपले मनापासून आभार. आपल्या या कार्यक्रमासाठी जे संस्थेचे हितचिंतक आहेत, देणगीदार आहेत, हितचिंतक आणि देणगीदार देखील आज उपस्थित आहेत, याचे पण मी संस्थेच्या वतीने आभार मानतो. आपल्या संस्थेचे कुटुंब प्रमुख माननीय डॉक्टर शरद कुटे सर, CRVGTचे चेअरमन माननीय मिलिंद कांबळे सर, फर्ग्युसन कॉलेजचे माननीय प्राचार्य नितीन कुलकर्णी सर आणि खऱ्या अर्थाने CRVGTचे टीम लीडर माननीय प्रशांत कोकले सर, या सर्वांचे मी आभार मानतो. तसेच या कार्यक्रमाला CRVGTचे सर्व फॅकल्टी मेंबर्स, स्टुडंट्स, पॅरेंट्स या सगळ्यांचे या कार्यक्रमाला उपस्थित राहण्याबद्दल आभार मानतो आणि आपली रजा घेतो. धन्यवाद.
Now I request the audience to rise for the psalm.
आता विश्वात्मके देवी